Hello, Ray Phoenix here. Welcome to Let's Play Spyro 3 Year of the Dragon, Part 6. We're going to be going to a seashore shell. That level's a bit of a tongue twister, to say the name of that level. But first we're going into this place with a balloon. This is how we're going to get to the next homeworld of the game. Yeah, I brought back hot air balloons like they did in Spyro 1. I keep saying this game is very reminiscent of Spyro 1 in a lot of ways. We're going to use the hot air balloon to go to the next world of the game. Before we do that, we're going to go to see Snappy the Seal is going to greet us to the seashell shore. And then we're going to go here and we could get this level 100% complete. There is a segment that involves using Sheila the kangaroo, but we could definitely complete that because we have access to Sheila the kangaroo. This level is also very similar to the Aquaria Towers or Aquaria Towers, yeah, from Spyro 2, because it's mostly just filled with water and we swim around. So it's a very large, water-oriented level. It's a good thing dragons have gills or whatever, so they can breathe underwater permanently, like Spyro can seem to do that. So you're gonna go rescue these seal friends and smash these bottles that look like they come from some sort of liquor store, like some liquor store bottles that have gems in them that somehow ended up under the sea. This charge under here. This is the reason why I always charge whenever I go swimming in these games. That way you're gonna knock down all the enemies, hit all the enemies, and get the gems off of them, like hit that guy down, collected his gem. There's these guys, these Rhinox of weapons. Try to see if I can find all of them, because finding all of them, of course, I can get all the gems in this level, which is imperative to gain the game 100% complete. It's also, because a lot of gems like to hide in this level too. It's like a lot of places to hide, so gems really blend in with the scenery of this level. That's why I'm kind of just going around just picking out each and every gem. And oh look, a 1-up. There's also quite a few 1-ups in this level too. Just gonna swim up around here. And there now we're at the shore. Now it's called Seashell Shores. Of course it's going to be a shore. The whole thing can entirely be water. It's mostly just another beach level, and Zoe's going to give us some more useless stuff we already know about. Press select to access your atlas. Yeah, we're several levels in the game already. I've been checking our progress a lot at this point. I think we know how to use our atlas already. They should have just made those tutorial things optional, or just give you an option like it does in some of those Kirby games. Like when I was playing that game Kirby Superstar on the SNES, it always asks, oh, is this your first time playing this? And if you say no, that's not going to give you an explanation. This game should have done something like that. That's the thing I liked about Ape Escape 2. One of the few things Ape Escape 2 did better than Ape Escape 1 was the fact that training levels are optional. Ape Escape 3 did that too. Let's go and find another egg. Look, it's Jason and the Argonauts, or Odysseus or something like that. Jason under the water. Let's go swimming around here. There's also a level in Donkey Kong 64 that was kind of similar to this too. I think it was like at a beach and there was like some water you could swim in there. It was also reminding me a bit of Goonies. I think just about every game ever made has at least one level like this in it somewhere or another. There's like some shore level, beach level. You could there was like a level on a beach. Beaches are very common settings for games. There are sewer levels and ice levels and lava levels and desert levels. There is a desert level in this game. Of course there's going to be a desert level in this game. What Spyro game doesn't have some sort of desert level or war-torn level or something like that? There's Rhinox that they're dressed like their enemies, frickin' Popeye. That's like saying Popeye would fight against just feeding a bunch of spinach and he would go take those things out easy. But of course Spyro still looks pretty much as he did in Spyro 1 in this game. Spyro hasn't seemed to grow at all since we first saw him in the first game. I mean, he still has all the abilities he earned in Spyro 2, because they always like to keep the Spyro abilities. They don't like to give up, like Insomniac likes to make games where you keep your abilities or keep stuff you earned in the other game. Like I was just playing Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. There's a part where you could actually like get your weapons back for free if you had a memory card in with Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal save data. I'm sorry, it wasn't Up Your Arsenal, it was Going Commando save data. And then I realized, oh yeah, I did get that game completed, but it's on my other memory cards. I have a lot of memory cards for PS2. I was just using my blue memory card that I got so many years ago, like over a decade ago, and I just used it for the first time last week so I could start a new game of Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. I also found out too that game also, just like the Spyro games having demos for Crash Bandicoot games, it also has a demo on it for Sly 2. Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal has a Sly 2 demo on it. Yeah, and it's easy to access. You just start pressing like some of the shoulder buttons, I think, in a certain, like L1, L2, R1, R2, something like that, or some combination of that. And I only found out because I only found that out last week because I put my Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal disc into my computer so I could rip the disc. I don't trust getting an ISO of it off the internet because I thought it was likely to crash or something like that. So it ensures that it comes from my copy, which I know works fine. So it's something a bit more genuine, something you know is going to work. And ironically enough, it actually crashed more. It actually crashed quite a bit, actually. It actually, yeah, and the graphics, I already mentioned in the last video about got a lot of graphic corruption. So when I was looking for the files, you actually view like the data files that are stored on the disk, and I found that it's the thing about Sly 2, and I looked it up and it's like, oh yeah, there's a Sly 2 demo to find on the internet. Unlike the Spyro games, there's nothing mentioning about the Sly 2 demo in the instruction book at all. That's something you'd only know if you just happen to accidentally stumble across it or look it up on the internet, which is something I'm sure everyone was doing back then, right? Everyone was always looking up stuff on the internet back then. So we're going to play as Sheila, and we're going to pretty much take out these enemy cannons, these enemy tanks, just by ground pounding them like Mario in Super Mario 64 and Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong 64. And Banjo-Kazooie in Spike and Ape Escape 1. Come to think of it, I think just about most 3D platforms that I come to think of it have some sort of ground pound move. Some sort of move where you just pound the ground and it destroys everything under it, and usually so you could find some sort of like hidden treasures, and we're doing this just so we can destroy this layer of protection, and of course collecting a lot of gems, because I always love collecting gems, that we can always please money bags. And Sparks is still telling us their health is somewhat low, because Sparks is green. I wonder why they picked that color green to mean you have low health, somewhat low health. I think it would have made more sense if green was like, like a full health, and blue could be like middle of the line maybe. And maybe red or yellow or something, that actually probably would have made it better, like, oh, you're low on health thing. Or maybe it's because dragonflies are supposedly yellow in real life. I don't know. Then again, I don't really know what dragonflies are, and the fact they have lifespans that only last for 24 hours. Wonder how well it does with Sparks. Maybe they're implying that the entire Spyro series happened over the course of less than 24 hours, and that's how he still has Sparks after all those years. I don't know if that's really the case or not, but maybe or maybe Sparks is some kind of magic dragonfly. The only ever time we really see dragonflies in the Spyro games is pretty much never in the PS1 games. I know we did enter the dragonfly because it's in the title of the game, Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. So of course it's going to be about dragonflies. I don't know, maybe Sparks is supposed to be like one of a kind, or some like rare species of dragonfly or something like that. So we'll probably never find out the truth about Sparks. And Sparks is also a playable character in this game. There's going to be parts where we have to play some sort of arcade game starring Sparks, where we're going to use, we're going to pretty much become like the game Berserk, and we have to like go flying around some like hidden passage, blast down these different crawdads or different sorts of enemies or stuff you could come across in some arcade-style game. Spyro, the arcade game. It's almost that it was like, that's a better idea than Spyro, the mountain goat. It's not the worst kind of thing that could have ever come out of Spyro. Merchandising is where all the real money is made. There were some advertisements for Spyro merchandise in one of my PlayStation Underground Jam Pack discs, the one from summer 1999. It mentions you could buy like a hat, like a baseball cap that says Spyro the Dragon, or the Spyro the Dragon logo on it. I don't know if anyone's ever had one of those, if they ever really made those or sold them or not. It could have just been like a false advertising, unless someone could come forward and show they have that. That wouldn't be the only lost media related thing that came out of that specific demo disc. There's also an advertisement for this weird thing called a Pocket Alpha something. It's this weird device thing that plugs into the PlayStation memory card slot. It actually has a screen on it. You can supposedly use it to play games and stuff like that. It's kind of like that visual memory unit that the Dreamcast used. I don't know if this thing is real or not. No one seems to know about it. I've never found it, never seen one of these in real life before. I never found anyone or come across anyone that's ever known about these things before. So I actually wrote it off as being a form of lost media. I want to write to the lost media communities, and maybe they could help uncover this piece of lost media. I used to see advertisements for things all the time that never came out. Like, I remember my copy of Lego Island 2 for the PS1 advertised for Lego Stunt Rally for PS1, which does not exist. There was a building. Someone later found a build of the game that never got released. But the actual game never actually got released, at least not for PS1. It got released on PC and Game Boy Color. I remember watching Classic Gamer review the Game Boy Color version years ago, and he mentioned that you're playing with real Lego in real life is more fun than playing Lego Stunt Rally on the Game Boy Color. Yeah, but what he probably doesn't know is that real Lego is so damn expensive. so it's much cheaper. Just buy that Game Boy Color. Game's like a cheap alternative, like the We Have It at Home version of playing with Lego. Just get on your Game Boy Color. Lego for your Game Boy Color. I know, there weren't very many games that really push the limits of the Game Boy Color. The Game Boy Color is a very overlooked portable handheld from Nintendo. Most people probably just see it as being like the missing link between the original Game Boy and the Game Boy Advance. Game Boy Advance was really popular, and the regular Game Boy is actually pretty popular too, but Game Boy Color, I don't really hear people talk about Game Boy Color as much. It was still pretty big around 2000. I've never seen people with it thinking it was really cool. It's like, whoa, this is the coolest thing ever. And people told me it sucked. But I think it's pretty cool. Other people thought it was really cool. Maybe from like a legacy nostalgic perspective, it might be something really cool. But I never thought Game Boy Color was that cool of a system. Remember they used to have commercials all the time. They'd say, get Game Boy Color, get into it. Like, I think no, I never got into it. America the Beautiful, and it showed like each Game Boy Color being a different state. America the Beautiful for your Game Boy Color. I don't think anyone really liked Game Boy Color more. I think of it now. Some system. It wasn't the best. I actually did have one for a little bit. Then my mom got rid of it, I think, or something like that. I don't remember exactly what happened to it. There's a lot of things I used to own that I don't anymore for unknown reasons. I don't even remember every single thing I've ever had anymore. And I never keep records of every single thing I've ever had before either. I mean, that Mark from Classic Game Room keeps records of every Atari 2600 game he's ever got. He never has any memory nor a record of him ever getting Spider-Man for the Atari 2600. That's kind of like that copy of Dumb Bunnies, some Dumb Bunnies book that I had in my book collection one time. I have no idea how it got there, and I have no memory of ever getting it, so I have no idea how it's there. Well, I thought maybe a friend planted it in there or something like that, but that was definitely not the case. I have no idea how I got that book, and I probably never will find out how I got that book. It will forever remain a mystery. I think we just cleared the level now. We just fought off that octopus thing, a dumb Doc Ock thing. Funny if they made him something like Doc Ock and he dropped the key and now he could free the other seals, and we're gonna get an egg for doing this. The egg is the only prize we'll ever get in this game for doing anything worth having. It's an egg. You always say, oh, I hope this isn't too much trouble for you. Yeah. Well, anything again, egg is not too much trouble for me. I like getting it, because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be collecting the eggs, stopping these dragons from becoming extinct, is what it says in the back of the case for this game. Now we cleared the main level. There's still some more mini-games in this level that we haven't played yet. There's a lot more, I think. At least one more mini-game, I think, in this level that we haven't played yet. It's going to become like a Twisted Metal car combat-like game, but it's on water with boats. There was actually a game on the original Xbox that was kind of like that, where it's like Twisted Metal, but you use boats rather than cars, and you just blast each other over the sea, kind of like a battleship type game. You sunk my battleship. I don't remember if there was a battleship game for the PS1 or not, I don't know. Oh look, a Rhinoc named Bluto's challenged us. Sounds like a villain from Popeye or some character from Popeye. There really have so many Popeye references there were in this level. I think the people making this game are watching too much Popeye. People say I draw Popeye pretty unintentionally because my characters used to have lower, thick arms and the lower ends. I was just going to explain to us how to drive the boat. How to drive this boat, and then it just shoots the cannon. It's almost like a mobile version of that cannon thing we first encountered in Spyro 2. But it's mobile. It's a boat version of it this time. We're going to go over here now and play and clutch those crates of our ammunition and shoot at the shark. That shark thing also looks like one of those shark things that appeared in the Aquaria Towers level from Spyro 2. Let's try to see more references to Spyro 2 in this game. Spyro 2 pretty much is a precursor to Spyro 3, the ancestors. Primitive. Well, I'll say that in quotes, making quotes to my fingers. You obviously can't see my fingers making quotes. But yeah, it kind of is like the primitive version, because I do think Spyro 2 is superior to this version, to this game in a lot of ways. Mostly because it had better replay value. I kind of like the way the minigames are presented more. I think they also went a little too far in this game with some of the additional players you can play as. This game is still pretty good nonetheless. It's a little bit more fun than Spyro 1. Yeah, this is a bit better than Spyro 1. I don't think anything could be better than Spyro 1, except for Spyro 4. Spyro 4 is definitely not better than Spyro 1. So it's not that easy to beat then. remember there's also a boss battle in Donkey Kong 64. I think that was like this too, because Donkey Kong 64 had quite an abundance of bosses. I think every level or so had a boss in it. And this is kind of like a mini boss almost, or you can call this any kind of boss. There, we destroyed Pluto. Now we're gonna get another egg. Or it's gonna give us another egg. Yeah, give us the egg. First time Pluto has ever lost. I wonder how long he's been playing for. I wonder how many other challengers he went against. Well, I know, I might just be his second challenger, maybe. There, we got another egg. Rescued 32 eggs. And there's still tons of gems in this segment here that we weren't able to get because we're stuck in the boat. Oh, Pluto's gone. We could go and capture these remaining gems. It'd be funny if they had gems that like came to life and attacked us or something that became enemies. It's kind of like those ninja things from Banjo 2. You ever think, oh look, it's one of the Jinjos. And they're like, no, it's a ninja, the enemy of the Jinjos, whatever they were called. I haven't played Banjo 2 in a long time. Just running around in circles, collecting these gems, and there's more gems under here. And I don't think there's any eggs hidden under here. There are quite a lot of gems hiding under here. I don't think it would have been better if they actually did give us some more things to collect of in addition to just eggs and gems. Like maybe like how the thieves had eggs in Spyro 1 and that was like an additional collectible thing from Spyro 1. Maybe there could be some sort of like hidden story behind it. You're like a special bonus reward. And so there's supposedly a special bonus in this game for getting all the skill points, but I've never been able to do that before. I never got all the skill points. I don't even know what all the skill points are in this game. Unlike in Ratchet and Clank, it doesn't list all the different skill points in the game or like how to get all of them and stuff. So I have no idea where they all are. And I have no idea how to get all of them. I'm not even going to bother to try. I'm not even sure it's possible to get all of them if you mess up or something like that. I don't know. Skill points aren't really like main part of the game, I don't think. Most 100+% runs I've seen of these games don't exactly cover skill points. So Spyro's going to demonstrate his gliding abilities, where you just glide all the way to the end and press the triangle button to hover, just like we did in Spyro 2, and Zoe liked explaining that to us in this level again, like we haven't played the game up to this point already, nor have we ever played Spyro 2. She seems to forget that. Seems to think Spyro's not capable of doing any of his abilities or any of his moves or his tactics. Spyro's a lot smarter than a lot of other people are. Spyro could probably run wars. He could probably be a general someday. I like to think that maybe Spyro did grow up and he became some kind of 5-star general, and now he goes to Zephyr all the time and finally ended that war that started in Spyro 2. Or maybe it didn't start in Spyro 2, maybe it was already going on prior to Spyro 2. So after roaming around, you're going to find that one measly little red gem that's hiding under our nose. And now here's where the last of the gems are, where the last egg is. It's in Sheila's segment here. I missed this the first time around. I'm just going to go do a high jump over there, and look, there's a hidden egg. Jared. What a name for a dragon, Jared. Calling him Jared. There we got all 6 eggs. And now I can collect the remaining gems. I think that's just about all of them. And yes, that's all the gems in this level. And I think it's all the eggs too. So yes, level complete. It's actually nice it doesn't make that annoying sound like it did in Spyro 2 when you got a level complete. So we're gonna go finally end this level, get all 400 gems that we collected. Yeah, we pretty much got that level 100% complete, just like we got most of our levels. This came 100% complete to eliminate backtracking and the field, the snappy field. You want to call him Skippy the field, snappy field. It's going to tell us, oh, you're ready to go off to the next homeworld now. Spoiler alert, there's going to be a boss after this before we go to the next homeworld. Bray Phoenix, signing out.